What's up, guys? It's Nathan here at Bluestone Farms. Got a wet, nasty, rainy day out. It's been probably about 2 weeks since we've last made a video. I haven't made a video because we haven't been doing a whole lot here. It's been kind of slow. The weather has not been great. We'll get a day of sunshine, then it'll kind of just rain or be cloudy for a couple days. But we'll go right around real quick. We'll show you guys the calves. We'll show you guys the rest of the herd down at the bottom. We'll show everything off. But like I said, not a whole lot going on right now. So we'll just kind of take you guys around, show you guys real quick, and we'll go from there. It seems like one thing that's really benefiting from all the rain that we have been getting is a couple of our apple trees. It looks like the deer may have gotten in here and eaten some of the leaves off these trees. It looks like the deer have been kind of eating on this one, but this tree right here is doing really good. That tree back there is doing really good. This one's doing okay. That one back there, it's been struggling to grow. And then these two on the back corner, we have a hard time getting these ones to grow. Well, the sun comes from this way and goes across, and because of that, the trees will like to lean, and they haven't got a good base on them because they're following the sunshine going across the field. We'll go check on these calves real quick. They're getting pretty big. They're about 2 months old. Okay, we are up with the calves. These guys have really been growing. They have really taken off. We got the moms in a corner back here. They're hanging out under the tree, getting out of the rain. The baby's out in the middle of the field. They don't mind getting wet, it seems. So JJ, he's over 2 months old. Penny, she's just about 2 months old. Penny's a little heifer calf. JJ's the little bull calf. Probably another 4 or 5 months. We'll see if we can get JJ castrated, get a band on them. Not a whole lot's going on with them. This field they're in, just being the 4 of them in here, and really just the moms eating the grass right now. They can't keep up with all this grass, and I had to get in here and cut this whole field down. I had to get in and pretty much bush hog it. It got really tall and it got really thick, and I had to come through and just knock everything down so that way they can get down to the nice lush green grass again. But they don't look bad. Their coats look nice and shiny. I'm pretty happy with how they look. You guys have been in here since mid-May or so. Plan with them is that we're gonna breed them back again to our bull Harkin, who's our main bull, down with the rest of the herd, probably in January sometime, and that'll set us up for fall calves next year. I don't want to do spring calves. I don't want to do summer calves. Just having fall calves works better for our schedule. There's really in multiple ways. So, and plus too, we've noticed that we get a pretty nasty fly load here. I'd rather have these calves in the fall when the flies are kind of dying off and it's not so bad. I know I've said it in like our prior videos, but man, when it rains, the turkeys come out, and we have a lot of turkeys up around here. We have a lot of deer too this year. It seems like the deer population is really bad. We've noticed there's a lot of bucks this year. I've seen a couple decent sized bucks too. I've seen a 1 10-pointer, a couple 8-pointers. I don't know what it is, but lately I've seen a lot of wildlife out here. Here is the rest of the herd. Before we show them off, I did want to talk about making hay in this field and back over here in this field. And we also got the neighbor's property way over there on the other side. I'm ready to make hay. The second cutting is ready to be cut. The only downside is that we are supposed to be in for quite a bit of rain, and we haven't had a good break in the weather in quite some time to be able to get all this hay cut. So with that said, I'm just kind of sitting back waiting on a good window. A couple days ago when I was checking the weather app, it looked like there was be a good 3 or 4 day break, but of course that went away, and now there's just like 1 or 2 days of straight sun, and you know, you need quite a bit more sun than that to make a bunch of hay. So right now I'm just kind of sitting in limbo on what to do with this hay, because all the fields are ready to be cut. They're kind of getting a little tall, but that's okay. The window will pop up sooner or later, so I don't like complaining about too much rain, because it never hurts to have too much rain. Okay, now that you guys see the herd behind me here, I want to bring up and talk about one thing. My prior videos for pretty much the past 2 years, one thing that I've really been on top of is rotational grazing, and I kind of want to talk about that. Kind of want to talk about, did we stop rotational grazing? Are we still rotational grazing? And I'll just straight cut to the point with it. The answer, pretty much yes and no. When I say, did we stop rotational grazing, and I say no, we still move these guys around, but we're giving them a much bigger spot. So this electric fence that they're on, we usually, when we rotational graze and we move every 2 or 3 days as we did before, we would only set up 3 or 4 of these fences at one time, and just kind of give them a small area and then just move them every 2 or 3 days. But I've been running these guys in about 7 or 8 of these fences at once, and I have just given them a much bigger area. The reason why I tried that is because we went out of town probably about 2 months back, and I wanted to give them a really nice big area, so that way, like, if I wasn't back in time, they wouldn't be starving to death, and they wouldn't be fighting over the grass and whatnot. Give them a nice huge area. And I noticed that when I did that, they haven't been mooing at me. They're not like dying to come out of there and get on a new grass right away. I know they're hanging out behind me right now. They have been on this spot for quite a little while. It is pretty much time for them to come out of here onto a new spot. I'm not going to move them until probably early next week. Today's Wednesday. I plan on kind of moving them probably Tuesday next week. They still have a couple spots in here where they can mow down. Look at them. I mean, they're up here, they're not mooing at me, they're not bellowing to get out of here right away, and they're still grazing, you can see. And I've noticed since I've given them a much bigger spot, they all pretty much have those happy lines on the side. When I was doing the 2 or 3 fences at one time, or 3 or 4 fences at one time, I didn't notice those happy lines on them. And they seem more happy and content in the bigger spot. So we're still rotational grazing, but we've kind of scaled back on how often we move, and we've gone into just giving them a bigger spot. I think it's still considered rotational grazing. We're just not as aggressive with it no more. I still believe that rotational grazing is the key. It is the way to go. Just for me, just doing this out here, just giving them a bigger spot, I have noticed that they seem a little bit happier with the bigger spot. And I'm not saying this like attitude, they look healthier. They don't look as drawn down. They don't look as skinny. They don't look like they're hungry all the time. They're hanging out, they're watching me right now because I'm up here. It's just kind of like still a learning experience of what to do here. I'm still trying to figure out what works best for us, what works best for them. I mean, these are Dexter cattle. You know, you take a Jersey might do better if you move them every 2 or 3 days. It's all about the genetics. There's a lot of variables that go into it. I'm trying to figure out what works best on our end. So I don't know, we're still kind of playing it by ear. We're seeing how this works best for us right now. So. And before we wrap this video up, I do want to bring up that we may have a problem with Millie, who's one of our heifers. Millie is this heifer right here, this big red one on the outside. When I bought her from a farm up in Maryland. She comes with really good genetics, right? She comes with like the A2, she's polled. She doesn't carry PHA, she's a non-carrier of chondrodysplasia. She pretty much checks all the boxes of what I want genetically out of her, right? So when I picked her up, she was pretty much just about 2 years old. And I didn't quite understand why the people were selling her. They pretty much told me that they wanted to sell her because they were in the Jersey cows rather than the Dexters. I was told that she was never in with a bull. I was told that they never tried AIing her. And I believe, if I remember right, the people that I bought her from, they never even had a bull. I think they AI'd everything. So I bought her for pretty much like what a steer would go for. She didn't cost me what like a top end quality cow would cost, even though she carried all the top end genetics. So I was kind of always a little leery with that. Pretty much paid just the price of meat on hoof with her. Since I brought her out and I got her in with a bull, she's been in with this bull since April. We're in August, so it's been almost 4 months at this point. I'm not sure if she's bred. This is why I think that she may have been sold really cheap, and I wasn't told that, you know, she may have fertility problems. I don't know. It seems like since she's been with the bull, I've noticed not a major heat, but I've noticed slight heat, like heat signals that she may be in heat. I've noticed it almost every month she's been in here. About 2 weeks ago, I saw one of our steers actually mounting her, which I thought was really odd because usually the bull doesn't even let the steer do that. And on top of that, I've never seen that steer mount another heifer at all before. And I know steers will do that, right? Steers, that's what males do, even though he's castrated. But I have not seen the bull back on her. When I put the bull in with her back in April, the bull was all on her. But we have 2 other heifers in here as well, and I haven't noticed any heat signal out of them. The other 2 heifers are the dun one, who she's starting to look bigger and bigger, and then the black one in between there. I have not noticed any heat signs out of the 2 of them. I'm pretty confident that those 2 are bred. But what I need to do is I need to buy a corral system or set up a corral system and get a head gate or a squeeze chute in there. And I need a blood test, like do a blood test, pregnancy confirmation on Millie, and then from there we'll figure out what to do. Sometimes I feel like she gives me signs that, you know, that says she's not bred, and then there's other times where I think that, like, maybe, you know, she probably is bred and I'm just overthinking it. That's her right there in the middle. And she's a good looking cow. I mean, she's probably one of our best looking heifers here. I mean, it's gonna suck if, like, you know, there is fertility issue with her. Yeah, but anyways, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching this one. Not a fun video, not an exciting video, but just kind of wanted to give a little update. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Always helps me out on my end. We'll catch you guys at the next one.